Good evening, everyone. This is the official press conference of the Chess Olympiad in Tromsø, Norway, round 3. I have 4 very special guests tonight. From my left, I have Grandmaster Anish Giri, representing the Netherlands. Next to him, I have Irene Sukandar from Indonesia. And to my right, I have legendary Grandmaster Eugenio Torre, as well as our young star from Singapore, Qing Aun Lee. Welcome, all of you. And let's first start with what happened today. Irene, how did your game go today?
I made a draw, but my team won successfully against Romania. It's quite incredible, actually, because on the second and third board, I wasn't very confident about my teammates because they were not playing that well in the first. Even my own position was terrible, but somehow I went to the restroom, and then when I went back, 2 games were already finished. The second board and the third board already won.
Oh, maybe you should go more often to the bathroom, right?
And then after that, somehow my position also got equalized, and I got some changes to win actually, but it was pretty slight, so yeah, I made a draw eventually. But our last board lost, but okay, we already won the match.
Excellent, congratulations for your team. Anish, you had a tough opponent today. Netherlands played the United States, and Hikaru Nakamura arrived just on time for you. He had some travel delays, but yes, he was all ready with the Red Bull and everything. How was your game?
Well, I think he misplayed the opening a little bit, and I think he played the Sicilian from the white side as if he had never seen it before in his life. But nevertheless, the position was nothing special, and as soon as we could repeat moves, we did it. I was obviously hesitating, and probably so was he, but the situation in the match was too complicated to judge, and we had one bad position, 2 better ones, so okay, eventually we just made a draw.
And have you played him before?
Oh, many times, of course. We had many interesting games. I lost a couple. I believe I won also at least 1 game that comes to mind. Maybe I have I definitely have a little minus score against him, but nothing too dramatic.
Okay, so a draw is okay for today.
Yeah, it's a decent result. But of course, it's all in hindsight. You know, if we lose the match, yeah, it was wrong decision to repeat the moves. If we win it, it was good.
Excellent. Let me go to my right side here. Eugene, you're very experienced Olympiad players. As I understand, this is your 23rd Olympiad, 22nd playing, and you were a coach one time that you skipped. It's a record, actually. You're the one who played the most Olympiads of anybody ever. So that's an accomplishment in itself, of course. Today you had a real tough opponent. You guys, Philippines, played against Ukraine.
Yes.
How was your game?
Well, it started with a Nimzo. He played the Queen C2 variation, and then somehow...
And who did you play?
Korobov.
Korobov, yes.
Korobov. And somehow it was quite even, but towards the end, I was hoping to have some better endgame, but towards the end, he played some aggressive moves and had to be very careful. Later on, there were exchanges, and after that, we would have a queen and 3 pawns that would be left, but I could not escape. Although I have a pass pawn on the queen side, but I could not escape the checks.
Perpetual checks. So the game ended in a draw.
Yes.
How is the rest of the team doing so far?
Well, I think I know the first board was kind of drawish for a while. I don't know. I have not seen the game now. And that's between Ivanchuk and...
With opposite colored bishops.
Right.
Endgame, right?
And Sadora. But unfortunately, the other 2 games, I think we are worse. So very likely our team will lose against Ukraine.
It happens. And not everybody can upset them like yesterday, right? The Norwegian second team that they managed to tie.
Right.
Well, I'll get back to each one of you, but let me ask a couple questions of our youngest guest, Qing Aun. You're only 13 years old.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're not exactly the youngest participant, but certainly one of them. And I was walking by the different boards, and I saw you play, and I have to say I was very impressed by your demeanor and how you focus, and you make good moves, more importantly. In fact, how are you doing so far? I know you played 2 games.
Yeah, I actually won both my games, although against considerably weaker opponents.
Which countries have you played against?
It was Papua New Guinea in the first round and Barbados in this round 3.
Excellent. When did you start playing chess?
I actually started playing chess around 6, so I've been playing for 8 years now.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let me get back to our female guest on the table. I want to congratulate you, first of all, that finally, after making 10 IM norms, it became official yesterday that you got the title. You had some issues crossing the magic 2400 mark, but finally it's official. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you find, what do you think took so long to become officially an IM? Obviously you had the strengths making 10 norms.
Yeah, I realized I was lacking of consistency, and then I've been 2300 since 2008. So I've been up and down around this 2300 for so long. So yeah, as I told before, I'm lacking of consistency. So sometimes I gain like 50, but I also dropped 80. So yeah, but this year I determined to play more focus, you know, not only during my game, but also in my preparation before the game, or even preparation before the tournament. So yeah, it's showing its result now.
Well, excellent. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Anish, there is so many things I could ask you, but the first thing that comes to my mind is the recent book of yours I saw and read it partly actually as well. I enjoyed it. It's a bit unusual that somebody as young as you, of course you're #1 ranked junior player in the whole world for some time now, and has a book already. Tell me, how did that come about?
Yeah, I was turning 20 this summer in end of June, so there was this idea to write a little book about my first 20 years, so to speak, and comment 20 games, because fortunately I had already opportunity to play 20 games that were worth commenting. So eventually it was quite joyful and easy to write, in fact, because I didn't have to think too long about what to write. All the important and interesting events came right into my head. At the end, it's a nice little book, as it seems to me, and I'm sure that many people will like it. Of course, half of it is full of chess moves, but the other half is full of text as well. So it's definitely interesting for people who are interested in me or interested in chess in general.
I also see a lot of your annotations in New in Chess. In fact, I opened it like the second page, and it says you're a contributing editor actually of New in Chess, which is one of the most highly regarded chess magazine in the world. How do you find time to combine it with your tournaments and chess preparation? And does it help you, or does it hold you back doing so much writing?
Well, it could definitely disturb certain people, but to me it's pretty easy to write. Generally, I don't have to think too long. I just write what comes to my mind, and okay, I'm always busy looking at chess, and when I do it for New in Chess, I more or less do the same. I write about the top tournaments that I follow, and I do some annotations, and sometimes I'm even being a little bit selfish, and I think which game would be good for me to analyze, which would be good not only for the magazine but also for me personally. So I definitely profit from that, and if I would write something about a non-related subject, it would be not good. But since it's all about chess, I'm enjoying it, and yeah.
I know you were born in St. Petersburg, Russia, but you had a kind of an adventurous childhood, as I understand, living in Japan, and you're part half Nepalese, and you had a lot of languages in your life, and you do speak 3 languages fluently, as you told me, which are?
Russian, Dutch, and English.
And if you wake up in the morning, what language do you think first?
Yeah, that depends who I talk to in the evening. Generally, it was the mix of mostly English and Russian, because I speak English with practically all of my friends, and I read a lot of English online, and I write in English as well. But my family is Russian, so it used to be more or less balanced. Lately, my girlfriend speaks English to me, so that turns the balance a little bit towards English. So most likely I will wake up in English.
Wow, that's unusual, right? A
Yeah.
Russian Nepalese boy thinking in English.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Basically, my family is very international. My mother is Russian, my father is from Nepal, and my father is working as hydrologist. It's in field of water research, so it's rivers. And well, he worked in Japan, and he did his PhD there. And in Netherlands, he's also doing very well, because Holland, of course, needs people who have some clue about the rivers, because otherwise it would collapse.
Well, the Netherlands have certainly gained with you moving there and your father getting a job there.
Yeah, I guess the presence of my father there is more important than my own, because I merely strengthen the chess team, and my father is making sure the country doesn't get flooded. So.
Well, I guess both are important, but for different people, I guess. Well, let me move over to this side again. Eugene, as we said, you participated in 23 Olympiads. That's
Yes.
a huge number, considering that that's not 23 years, but that means since Chess Olympiads only happen every second year, so that's quite a good number of years. So what do you see as the biggest change from the first Olympiad that you played over the years that, wow, this is just, we could never think of that 23 Olympiads ago?
Well, of course, before we used to have qualifying, elimination. Then you qualify in the A group, B group. Of course, the organizers now, or FIDE, became more practical, and I suppose, especially with so many teams now, Swiss system is, I think, the best format. So there's a big change. And of course, while then, I don't know the numbers then, but I'm sure. I don't know if we reach 100, no? But, imagine this time, I don't know.
Almost 180.
180. So that shows, the popularity of chess all over the world. And so many young players, And I think it's because of the FIDE's program, the World Age Group. I think this is the very reason why there's so many young players who become grandmasters, and also, of course, the computer. Chess programs.
I remember when I was growing up and following, obviously, the World Championship cycles of those days, and that's the first time I heard of you when you became a candidate, one of the top 8 players in the world in those days. And as you know, in those days, it was well before the Chinese started playing chess and other Asian countries. And you were kind of exotic at the time, in a sense that there were really no Asian players, right? Yeah. What do you think has happened that Asia woke up and started playing chess, and of course not just playing, but playing well?
Well, in a way, the Philippines also helped waking up the dragon, the Chinese dragon. Because as early as 75 and 77, we had friendship matches, So, and then I think Mr. Campomanos also tried to propagate chess in the part of Asia and where chess was not so popular. Well, it so happened that, for example, then there were very few tournaments also. That's why the level of chess then in Asia was really quite, low. So, but then slowly chess had become very popular, and many countries realize the importance of chess, especially for the youth, because I remember before, we only had the World Junior that was 20 and below. Maybe because they were worried that too early for young players would be not so good for them, playing too early.
But now they have
realized they realized that it's actually helpful, so many benefits for the youngsters, That's why now we even have 8 under world champions.
Well, there's a question I cannot miss, since you are one of the few people that used to be extremely close to Bobby Fischer.
Yes.
You were one of the few trusted people that he had in his life for many, many years. I remember the days that he moved to Budapest, my home city, and I remember you came with him along with a couple other people. And what can you say now, thinking back after all these years about Bobby?
Well, I miss, his companionship. I miss, so many good sides of Bobby, I miss when he got the red face every time he liked a joke, He really became he turned very red, laughing like that.
He could really enjoy jokes,
Right.
good food,
Good
right?
food, yeah, he loved good food.
Good spa.
Yeah, and I think he had only good intention for world chess, That's why he was thinking about the chess clubs, which we are now using, the one with the
We take
increment.
it for granted now that, of course, we use digital clocks and with
Right.
increment. And it was his invention. Few people remember that now.
Right. He was always thinking of what he could think of so that chess will be more interesting, more popular. And then, of course, hopefully in the future, because he really thought of this Fischer random, the
Right.
random chess. And hopefully in the future, FIDE will acknowledge chess, just like a rapid or a blitz.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Fischer random will be officially recognized and let sponsors or organizers to choose from whether they like rapid, blitz, or long game, or Fischer random, right?
I absolutely agree with it, and I'm personally a supporter of it. I think it's a lot of fun, and with all the opening theory going on today, it would be really refreshing, at least to have it as an alternative, as you said.
Alternative, yeah, just an alternative, and but that will only be, the world will embrace it only if FIDE will make an official rating about this tournament, just like what is happening now with rapid and blitz.
I think you should make an official proposal.
Not official, I propose informally, but maybe you're right. I should.
Okay, there's just so many questions I could really ask from all of you, but I want to end my questions with Tinan. Last question: how does it feel to play people twice, 3 times, 4 times your size or age?
Actually, I've been playing with these people 2 times, 3 times my age, actually for about maybe 5 years.
You're not scared?
At first it was quite intimidating and I was extremely scared of losing. So actually I faced a slump and lost about 200, 300 rating points within the first half a year when I started chess, as in the FIDE rating.
Well, thank you very much, all of you, and I'd like to open the floor to any questions that any of my colleagues in the media have. The microphone is there. If you have a question, please walk there to ask your questions.
It's a question actually for everyone there, and it's an obvious question. Who do you think will win both the Open and the Women's Olympiad? If not your own team, somebody else's.
Let's start with Irene, and then we go.
Okay, well, from the last Olympiads, I think Russian will dominate the women's section again, but I think Chinese is ready to take over the title now, so I go for the China team for women, and for the men's team, I absolutely have no idea. Maybe Russia.
Anish?
Well, it's hard to answer the question because I would wish the Dutch will win absolutely all the sections in all the sports, but it doesn't happen like that. So I think for women the favorite is China. Myself, I lost some games to Yifan, so I contributed to their team confidence a little bit as well. And as for the men, generally it's always a very close race, but often Armenia would win.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they have a charismatic team. They have a leader who can make a good joke or two, and who is also playing very well at the same time.
And that's Slavon.
Yes, of course. And generally he sometimes plays well. Of course, if you'll be playing badly here, which he seems to be doing so far, then they will not manage. But you know, it's too early to really have favorites. Of course, the favorites are always Russia, and many countries. You can just look in the rating list.
Thank you. Eugene?
Yeah, same here. I think women's side, China, and men's, it's a toss-up among the top 10 or teams.
You think
But,
even number 8 or 10 may win?
Of course, even 11.
Yeah, or 11, yeah?
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it. But, well, just because they have not won it for a while, you know, so I'll pick Russia. Maybe less pressured now because they have not won it for a long time. Yeah.
Or more
Which
pressure,
was-
I don't know.
Oh, more pressure.
I don't
depends,
know.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Jinan.
I'm not too clear about the women's section, but by looking at the players briefly, I would favor, I think, China, probably.
China for the open section, yeah?
Women's section.
Women's section. And for the open?
And for the open section, it will be a close fight between Armenia and Russia mainly, I think. In the past few years, Olympiads, Armenia has always been, I think, topping Russia by small margins. So I think maybe this year, Russia may be able to take over again.
Okay, we'll find out. And I'd like to thank all of you for accepting, joining the press conference. Thank you so much.